All right, everybody, we're on the air. Again, thank you guys for coming out to DiamondDynastyLive.com. We have a special webinar that we want to, really just specialize and, talk about really a team that is taking it to the next level out there in New Mexico, working with Tim and Julie Baca. How exciting it is to finally work with them. I remember, a couple years ago, we ended up chatting, doing some social media training, some YouTube stuff, just building the relationship, building the foundation. And I knew one day that somehow we were going to work together. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I just knew one day, and I just kind of kept the bug in his ear, kept going on. And, something truly happened that was amazing for us, here at Diamond Dynasty 300. My name is Joseph McDermott, and, we ended up launching this thing a little over 90 days ago. We broke, Kevin, myself, Kenny, we broke every record, in the company that I know of so far. We're shooting for the next one, which is double diamond, but, 30 days to ruby, 45 days to emerald, 60 days to diamond. And, it couldn't be, more excited to have a team like the New Mexico team, with Crystal, Tapia, with Tim and Julie Baca. And so we just want to come on here, guys, and tell you a little bit about, just a little bit about our story, but maybe just a little bit more about the company and, what we saw when we actually had a chance to fly into Orlando. We actually got to sit down with Wendy Lewis. We got to sit down with Randy Ray. And if you don't know who those people are, if you haven't seen any information on them, these are truly amazing people, being the founders of Jeunesse. Also, on top of that, they've actually run traditional businesses too. So they haven't just run network marketing companies their whole life, or they just didn't grow up in the network marketing profession. They had a chance to see both sides. Where Randy Ray ended up basically graduating from college with a software engineering degree, ended up building the computer systems that NASA uses, and landed a $31 million payday right out of college. I mean, ended up launching other software companies where he met Wendy, who was a double mathematics major, had an MBA for mathematics, truly amazing. And Kevin will talk a little bit more about the comp plan and why we're truly excited to be here. Just naming a couple of things, they haven't had to change the comp plan since the day one of the company. As you see, most companies, they go up and down, they roller coaster. They got to put in this new thing because this person's making too much money or this person's not making enough money. This company has truly been amazing where they haven't had to do any of those things. So having the leadership like that, having a company like Jeunesse Global on the Inc. 500, guys, at number 258, and that was back in 2013 numbers, being a debt-free company, privately owned. There's no investors. There's none of that type of stuff here. They have a privately owned company. They don't have to worry about telling, this person telling them what to do or this person telling them what to do or we need to make more money for our shareholders. None of that's here. We have a company that is 5 years old in 3 months, and they did a reverse model. Even though they've been in Orlando, Florida, since the inception of the company on September 9th of 2009 at 9 p.m., which the number 9 stands for longevity over in Asia, that's where the demand for the product was. So they ended up going and building the company over in Asia first. That's where most of the distributors were of Asian descent in the very beginning of the company. So you have a company now that has really, even though they've been in the U.S. this whole time, they never really took it to that next level and ended up launching really the U.S. market. They had a couple shots at it, but nobody really was interested at that time. Even myself, a couple years ago, I've heard about Jeunesse, and it just wasn't the time to build that company. Just wasn't the right time. So we had a chance to really take a look at it, and now that they have the infrastructure in place, being all over the world globally, not just saying that we're shipping products and all over the world, not an NFR type thing, but really shipping products all over the world. And so it's truly exciting to have that type of thing where we're shipping products over 100 countries, have a company that's 5 years old, have a company that has already laid the foundation. We don't have to worry about the company going away or folding or not having enough money. And then on top of all that, now you have a new market like North American market. You have a new market like Canada, and you have South America. You have all these markets that have been untapped, where now we have the ability to go in. Having less than 20,000 distributors in North America alone. In Kevin's last company, they had 20,000 people in one small city. in Tim's last company also, from a standpoint of, the company that he made big. And so, guys, we have the ability now to really go and build something to that next level. Having all these things in place, that was the thing that got me excited. Also having amazing products. Kevin, I'll pass it to you. Maybe you can tell them a little bit about, why you were excited and why you came over to this company, and tell them a little bit about, what you saw being, Kevin Latmore is one of those guys where, if you guys don't know his story, this guy worked at Costco having 7 kids, and he had to decide, do I want to work at Costco still and, give up all the benefits, even though he tells a funny story about, even giving up the free turkey for Thanksgiving and Christmas that they used to give him. And, his family was upset about that. And he made a decision to go full-time in this profession. In his last 4 companies, he built teams of over 10,000 people, guys. I call him Mr. 4P. He's always done it every time. Even it's going to be even bigger here, having over 55,000 distributors in his career in a 12-year period. In the last company that me and Kevin worked in, he was actually about a couple weeks away, really, from hitting the top rank in the company out of 100,000 people. He was already in the top 20, but he was about to be number 4 in the entire company to hit the top position in that company. He decided to, at that point, walk away and go to the Jeunesse Global. And so it's truly exciting to have him on here and be able to really build a business with him. And so I just love that he's a student of the industry. He studies comp plans, he studies businesses, and he could truly enlighten you on what's really happening here and how we went from 0 to 100 in a sense, and how this thing is taking off so fast that these teams are growing and building all over the world. So Kevin, go ahead and take it away.
Hey, thanks so much, Joey. That's great. And thanks for everybody that's watching here tonight on this live hangout. We're just doing it live, unscripted, straight from the heart, straight from the top of our heads, because it doesn't need a script. This is a fairy tale. This is an unprecedented situation. Like Joey just shared with you, I was in a pretty good scenario just before getting here, but we don't live in life, or at least I don't, to be pretty good. I want to be exceptional. I want to be excellent. I want the best in class, not only for myself, but for the people that I bring to the table. I want them to have the opportunity to be able to win and win big. And we were somewhat comfortable where we were, and things were growing. We had thousands of people on our team, and it takes a leap of faith. Sometimes people say, oh, you jump to this company, you jump to that company. Sometimes you just have to make an educated decision, and it's not always easy. The right thing to do and the hard thing to do are sometimes very difficult, but you have to do those things. And I left everything behind. I left very quietly. I didn't drag people from one place to another. I just started from scratch, and we built a tremendous empire here already. We're 3.5 months in. We're close to 4,500 people, and I don't even take the credit for any of that. I just think it's really the timing. It's the opportunity. It's the it's the wow factor that it has. This company has the it factor, and what do I mean by that? People just are magnetized to it. We at first weren't even solicited by anybody. I just heard a lot of rumblings about Jeunesse in general. I happen to live in Tampa. The company's head office is in Orlando, about an hour and 10 minutes away from my house, and we invited ourselves to check it out. And at one point, we were going to sign up directly with the company, and I thought that would be great, and it sounded cool, and we're almost like new master distributors, however you want to look at it. But then I thought about it. Even a bad upline would be better than no upline. So what we did is we interviewed the top 5 people who happen to be in town, see what happens when you show up. We interviewed some of the top 5 people in the business, and we chose our own sponsors. How rare is that? And I'm going to prove a point with that, too, because it was only this week, 3.5 months later, that I did my first meeting yesterday in Orlando, and I found out that my upline also chose his own sponsor because a friend in a different company had told him he should look at Jeunesse. And so that's really, really incredible. I think it's one of those things that's not in the comp plan. It's not typically in a presentation, but you need to make a little note of that on your paper while you're evaluating what it is we're talking about. Because of the 47 people that I've recruited in the last 3 months, I'd say half of them have also contacted me. I don't do any Facebook marketing. I don't do any kind of marketing in general. I've congratulated maybe 4 or 5 people of the 4,500 who have really done substantial job in their business on my wall. But other than that, I'm not really a big Facebook person. People are just hearing little whispers and rumblings and know that, I have a little bit more pep in my step. I'm a little happy about something. There's something brewing over here, And, I say that we're the hunted instead of the hunter. If you're in network marketing right now, you chase people around, you beg them to return your calls, you want them to come to your meeting, you want them to check out this information. And the difference is I send out 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 text messages a day. People check out a quick video, and they call me back ready to rock and roll. And I don't even consider that, when I said we're the hunter. Those ones, that was my hunting for the day. Send out a couple text messages and we're rolling. So the other thing that I really liked about Jeunesse that I didn't quite see, I thought of it a little bit more, but now I'm noticing it. It's one of the few companies where you can get leaders to actually take you seriously, actually really evaluate your business and make a decision on whether or not they would like to participate, not only with you, but with that company in general. I've been with many good companies, and, even where I met Tim and Julie, it was hard to actually get leaders to come to that company. Maybe it's a bit of a thumbs up to them for just having grown such a great base organically, but and which we're doing here as well. But it's so amazing that you have something that can actually catch the attention of seasoned veterans. And I think it's because the same reason that I got excited originally, which was that they're in 113 countries. Most of the companies I've ever been with have been Canada and the U.S. Canada and the U.S. And hey, make no mistake about it, I've created a very lucrative 7-figure business out of that over the past decade. Me and my wife have done very well. Our family is well taken care of right now and have been for quite some time. But I just couldn't stop but thinking, I'm originally from Trinidad in the Caribbean. My wife's originally from Thailand, and we've never had a chance to do business there. Never mind all the other places. So what's happened since we've come into Jeunesse? Is it okay to just be in those countries? Well, a beautiful thing happens when you have an opportunity like this. Our team is not only 4,500 strong, we're also in 41 different countries. I'm not going to name them all because I couldn't think of it. The one that really jumps off the page is Denmark, where I knew absolutely nobody, and now we have over 500 people just in Denmark. Another 100 in Sweden, another 100 in Norway. We have people in the Czech Republic, Russia, Singapore, Taiwan, Thailand, of course, the Caribbean all over, Chile, Puerto Rico, Peru. It just goes on and on and on. It's so exciting that when you meet somebody either online or in person that, if they're from another country or most of their leads, if you were just open in this country, I can really rock with you guys. I mean, how often have you heard that and really wish we could do something about it? Well, 113 countries, pretty much the whole globe is more than covered, and if we're not in the country where somebody is, we'll be there soon enough. But most importantly, what I saw when I looked at this opportunity was the fact that North America was untouched. And that was one of the last things that Joey just shared with you, and that's so ultra important. Let me break it down to some simple numbers for you, just to comprehend it a little bit more. But we're a $500 million company, and nobody in the United States or Canada really knows anything about it. All the people right now that are in Canada and the United States could easily squeeze into, I'll say a state or a province. I was going to say a city. It might be a little bit big for that right now, but not much more. Most companies, the amount of people we have can fit into 3 North American cities in any other company. Okay? So it's literally a drop in the bucket. There's probably no more than 500 or 1,000 people in New York, or no more than 1,000 people in California, especially when you want to go to talk about English-speaking people predominantly. So the opportunity right now is boundless. You have an opportunity to be with a $500 million startup. And that's something that you can't quantify because you've never heard those two words together, because they really don't go together. You can't be a $500 million company and be a startup. But a chain of events has created that environment for us, and you guys get to be the direct beneficiary of that setup. So I'll pass it to Joey or to Tim or to Crystal to take it from there. I'm here to answer any other questions or present any other parts. I'm super excited, as you can tell. I'm typically a very mellow individual, but when it comes to Jeunesse and some of the things that we have going on, it doesn't take a whole lot to get the motor running.
Well, Kevin, I just want to say something. First of all, it's a pleasure working with you guys. We've known you quite a while, Joey and Kenny as well. But I'll tell you, one thing that would really hit home with me is the fact that they have been around for 5 years. They're proven, and I wanted to join a company that already had the groundwork laid out. I mean, I just wanted to plug in and go. And so we're already finding a lot of truth to that right now. We're using the simple tool, like you said, the 1-minute video, and every single person is responding to that. And it's been it's been amazing, and I think Crystal can attest to that as well. We have just seen success from day one, and it seems like I've told people, we had a small training tonight, and I said, don't overthink it. Send the video. You'll engage immediately, and let's just keep growing the team, and it's gone really well the last week. Crystal, do you want to add to that?
I think it's imperative to realize what Kevin just said, how we became the hunted. Instead of us being the ones going out there and hunting, looking for people, now people are being attracted to us and seeing what we're doing, the momentum, the fire that's going with our team, and it has been completely contagious. We've all really, really super excited about it, and just so simple. It sells itself. You don't feel like you have to, give too many details. You don't have to break down the nitty-gritty details of the company. You just show them a simple video, and everyone is literally blown away by the products, what it's doing. And honestly, from there, the products speak for itself, the company speaks for itself. You're not really even having to sell anything because everything has already been laid out for you, and it's so easy to talk about. And that's what I love. I've never seen so much excitement within our team ever. And to see people, being successful, to see them winning, this makes it completely worth it.
Winning is very, very important, Crystal. I'm glad you brought that up, because at the end of the day, that's why we're all here, and that's to win. And my single favorite statistic that I know, unfortunately, I'm going to underestimate it at this point, but I know for a fact that at least 1,200 people on our team have gotten checked. I mean, we've just been here 3 months and some change, and for that many people to get checks, and some of them are big checks. Got a 24-year-old who's on pace to do $120,000 this year, and it's just amazing that you can have people from all walks of life, from all over the world, making such a tremendous income early on. Not everybody understands it. Some people are new to the binary compensation. Some people are new to network marketing in general. We have so many hairdressers, estheticians, nail salons, and the ability to have a great warm market like that, a cold market that instantly becomes warm when you say, hey, I want to show you something. No soliciting, no soliciting. Okay, I understand that. Sorry to bother you, but can you watch this 1-minute video before you throw me out? Fine. Next thing they're like, hey, hold all my calls and meetings. How do I get this stuff? What's going on? And it changes the whole dynamic. And you know what? It's not just about that product, which is the insulin agent that we're joking a lot about. That's just the world's greatest door opener. If you think that's all we are, you're making a tremendous mistake. I mean, we have about 14 products, which is really important, because you don't want to be with a company that has just one product. Although it's easy to get the message out and grow initially, it's hard to sustain, for the simple fact that if people don't like the product you're talking about, it's a short conversation. You have no other arrows in your quiver. You have nothing else to say. I don't like that product because of this ingredient or that ingredient, or it goes in this direction, which is against me for that direction, and it's over. Now, the opposite of that is equally troubling. You don't want to be with a company that has thousands of products. While that sounds good during the presentation, that's thousands of things you need to learn about, which is quite difficult. And you know what's going to happen? If you have 3,000 products, the first person you talk to is going to ask you about product 2,999 that you didn't even know you had, and you're going to look really silly. So 14 gives a nice little mix of various things, and there's something there for everyone. So it's been, a godsend to be able to make that many people happy.
Hey, Kevin, I got a question real quick, and I know you brought this up a few minutes ago about the comp plan and the binary, and a lot of people don't really understand. Some people look at the binary and say, well, is the binary a good thing? I looked at this comp plan very well, and the one thing that really stood out for me was the check match. And I just love this comp plan, and I think, can you explain to people the power of this check match?
Okay, well, I'll explain any parts of the questions that you of the compensation plan that you asked directly. The check match is really incredible. I'll say this, my upline is earning $300,000 a month, and I don't say that to brag or anything, but just to give you some context, to make it digestible. The binary maxes out at $105,000 a month, so she's making $300,000. The question becomes, where's the other 195,000 per month coming from? And that is the powerful check match that we have, where you can make anywhere from 20 to 30% check match on anybody you personally introduce. Now, say you personally sponsored me, I would be your level 1. What I've done is I've sponsored 47 people on my, let's make it 40 for some easy math, and I've sponsored 40 people on my front line. That would be your level 2, upon which you're receiving 15% check match on all 40 of my people. Where it gets interesting is this. If my 40 people each just enrolled 3, which some will do more, some will do less, of course, just like anything else. But if myself, I can do 40, someone else is going to balance that out. 40 people each sponsoring 3 would be 120 people on my second level, which would be your third. You'd be getting a 10% check match on your level 3, which is 120 people's checks for the month that you'd be getting a 10% check match on it. And that's where the real power of this compensation comes from. That's why there is now 65 people who average between $1 million and $8 million per year in this company. It's getting very, very powerful, and the bulk of that money is coming from not only the diamond pool, which we can talk about later, but also this very robust check match that starts to add up really quickly.
That's mind-blowing.
And Kevin, can I ask you if you can just explain to everybody the importance of Vegas coming up, and explain, why they need to be there, why they cannot miss this event. You and I both know the excitement about it, but if you can just break that down and, get that message across to everybody, that would be amazing.
Well, hopefully this doesn't discredit the whole Vegas thing, but I want to tell you something else that I wanted to mention earlier. So I've been in for 3.5 months. I've done 3 meetings or parties or whatever you want to call them. 2 have been at a friend's house with, I think, 9 people at one, 11 at the other. The third one I just did in Naples last Friday was a lady who owns a daycare, and once the daycare was closed out, she had about 7 or 8 of her friends come over. Okay, my first meeting in a hotel was Saturday, which was yesterday, and that was in Orlando, and my upline had flown all the way in from Australia. So I've done 1 hotel meeting. I haven't had my own meeting or party or anything yet before. And like I said, we have 4,500 people in 41 countries. So this thing is growing like a weed without any extra attachment. But back to your original question of what's going on with Vegas, this company doesn't do a lot of meetings or conventions over and over every 3 months. We know each other from a fantastic company that had a great culture, but I think the biggest problem a lot of people had with them having meetings every 3 months, conventions, if you will, that a lot of people were putting back every cent that they made into this constant wave of events. So this company does maybe one major one a year, at least in every region of the world. There'll be another one in Singapore later on in the year, which I don't think everyone's going to fly to. But for North America, this is it. This is the cat's meow. It's called LEAD because, we're all going to learn how to be leaders in the industry, leaders in the profession, leaders within our own business. And it's going to be in Las Vegas this coming weekend. And I really think this one specifically, I know every time there's another one coming up, it's going to be the latest, greatest, best can't miss event. But I really think it's going to be a defining moment, not only for the company, but for the individuals that are there. We were going to go so far as to make T-shirts, talking about like BV, like before Vegas, because I think once the word gets out about what's going on, people know that me and Joey are diamonds and this is happening and that's happening. I don't really think they understand the magnitude of what that all means. I don't think people quite understand the timing with that $500 million startup. But after this event, after people go crazy on Facebook, after people who come in to just be flies on the wall and kind of take a peek, really see what's happening, I mean, the telecommunications is going to start to burn up. People are going to get the word out. So anything you can do to get there, guys, is going to give you an unfair advantage. I feel so bad for people that sign up in April. I mean, they're going to have to wait 11 and a half months before they can go to one of this company's conventions. It's going to be insane. And as I just proved, I mean, I've just been to my first meeting ever after 3.5 months. So it's not like we do this very often. So if you want to get in and touch and feel this thing and see the magic and see what's really it's all about, then this is your chance to draw your line in the sand and carve out your territory, because all of North America is up for grabs.
Joey or Kevin, either one of you, what can you tell a new person that is looking at this right now, and they're kind of contemplating? For me, like I said, I just want to get an idea of what could they do if they signed up today. What do they have to do to get to start breaking ranks?
So are you saying, like, what do they need to do to get started, or what do they need to do just to get going, like get their business building?
I guess first off, two questions would be, Joey, is let people know, what could you tell somebody that's contemplating this business? Second, what do they have to do to get started?
Well, I would say if you're really thinking about joining Jeunesse, it's not much of a thinking for me. I mean, when I see a product where we have a best door opener product, I mean, I've been in and seen a lot of companies. I've helped companies launch products, and I've never seen a product where it can do something with instant gratification. When you can get a product where somebody can see it right away, again, North America is like that. We're an instant gratification type of country. We're a fast food kind of society, microwave. We want things quick and fast. So if you want a product that actually has that, you can't beat Instantly Ageless. On top of that, once you get them in the door, we have all the other products on top of that. So thinking about joining a business, number one, you have to look at a couple factors. When you're looking at a business, number one, do they have great products? Do they have great leadership? Is it all over the place, or do I still have room to build this business? And I mean, from a standpoint of all those things, we have a check mark for all of them. It's not saturated here or anywhere. Like the one thing too I love about this too is that we heard something from a guy who's making a lot of money in this company. He said when they go into a market, not also do they actually grow the market, but they actually sustain it. So it doesn't flatline, it doesn't go down. It actually goes and actually sustains the market. So people keep buying the products because they like the products. So if you really if you're thinking about building a business, number one, you want to make sure that people are going to reorder the products every month. I mean, my auto ship alone is probably like $800, $900 a month. No joke. I mean, I had probably like 4 or 5 boxes of reserve because I can't get enough of it. So, and then secondly, like when you're building the business, there's nothing to think about when you're building this business. It really is that easy. It's really just going out and getting one person on your left, one person on your right. When we teach, people how to build this business, that's all we do. Like, to tell you a story, for example, a coworker of, basically my fiance, when she used to work at the restaurant, a couple years ago, a guy reached out to us and said, hey, I see you guys are doing really well. I want to build this business. I was in Amway a long time ago, and that didn't work out that well. And I sat down with him, for a little bit, just kind of explained to him, this is what we do. This is our team. Watch some videos. He comes back, and he actually, he's doing really well now. He actually went executive in his first 48 hours. He's got teams growing in Poland now, and he never thought he could even do this. And all he's doing is basically doing what you guys are doing, what Kevin's doing, getting people to that video, piquing their interest, and once they pique their interest, he's either getting them on the phone with me, or he's, basically getting them in front of more information. So if you could do one thing really well in business, what we teach is, connect with somebody. Doesn't matter how you do it, offline, online, Facebook, whatever. Get them to some information, a video, the Instantly Ageless video. Maybe get them to some more information if they have any other questions, and then maybe get them on the phone with somebody better than you. I mean, if you can get really good at just passing people to somebody better than you, you could build this business. I mean, we have a kid right now who's 24 years old. I got him on the phone with you, Tim. He's gonna break $100,000 this year. For 6 years, he didn't do anything in this profession. He started when he was 18. He didn't do it. Well, he started actually earlier than that, but he really just didn't do anything. He didn't build. He didn't do anything, and he just didn't know how to build. Nobody took time with him. Kenny, myself, Kevin, we all took time with him. He heard us, on tons of 3-way calls because he was just really good at getting people on the phone after they saw their information. And now, he's going to make, $100,000 this year, and he works full time in the military. So that to me is exciting that, we have people like that, of all walks of life. When I look at our team, we're not the team with all the big leaders. We're a team that has, really the mom and pops, the Joe the plumber, those kind of guys where salon owners, business owners, but not like, big time network marketers, and we're crushing it. And I believe that's, because we have great products, but we have a great door opener product, and we have a company that, really rewards people for being in this company. And so I would say that's, truly exciting for me. And that's how I would kind of answer those two questions.
That was perfect. That was perfect. And that's one thing that I can tell you right now is so incredible, is that you built this without those big leaders. And so what you're basically saying is that anybody that follows the system that you guys have created, including myself and the team and people that want to get on board, can do exactly the same thing. You just got to put the time in.
Exactly. I mean, I'm pretty sure, Kevin, he can answer it, in his way, but I really think that, when we came to this company, we built a foundation. Number one, we really put the tools together, having a team website, we're building those in multiple languages. We have one in Spanish coming up. We're building them in other languages because we have teams, growing all over the world. And so we're building these team websites where it really just helps people get the information. We also have another amazing thing that, is going to be coming out probably right after Vegas, which our Chief Technology Officer, Jordan Klaus, he is building probably one of the most amazing user experiences, where all you have to do is just send people to a website that's going to be replicated, that our software that he's basically built. It's a 5-year-old software, Tim. You've used it, but people will be able to see everything. They won't have to ask you any questions because you'll send them one link. They'll be able to go through all the videos. They'll be able to see comp plans, about the company, all that. It's almost like a corporate website. And so that's going to be another amazing thing. So again, guys, if you just get really good at getting people to information, you can get really successful in this type of business. You just have to get enough people in front of the information.
Awesome.
Kevin, I'll let you go. You can answer those two exact same questions.
Kevin there?
I'm here. I'm just going to echo, or not even echo, what Joey just said. It really is such a simple build. I like the fact that, all you have to do here is get someone on your left, someone on your right, and you're off to the races. As a matter of fact, one of the caveats to our plan is the simple fact that if you place someone on your left and someone on your right, there is no other, zero, on camera, someone's recording, nothing else you need to do other than volume, and you can make up to $105,000 a month. And I talked to someone in a well-known company recently who's also a binary, because all binaries are not the same. And he said, well, yeah, same with us. I'm like, no. If you have someone on your left, you have someone on your right, what position are you? He's like, bronze. I go, how much is the most a bronze can make? He's like, $1,000 a week. I go, so that's $4,000 a month. I said $105,000 a month with just one on your left, one on your right. We don't have a lot of hoops. We don't have a lot of gotchas. We don't have a lot of plates that you need to keep spinning here. It is a very user-friendly compensation plan. Now, when you look at it for the first time, like myself, the PDF may seem like it has some things that may seem like, well, this might be a little bit difficult. I promise you, I've never seen a more simple and user-friendly compensation plan. It really is boiled down to the lowest common denominator. There aren't a lot of things you need to do to get to the top of this. Once you've enrolled 12 people ever, help them go executive, and beyond that, it's just volume to be, a diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, on and on and on. You don't even have to personally enroll diamonds to be a double diamond. They have to just be somewhere in your team, things like that. So they let it, and if you qualify for something, you're always qualified for something. You don't lose your rank. The volume doesn't flush. I know that doesn't mean a lot to a lot of you, but most companies at the start, the first day of every month, it goes back to 0 volume, and you start over from 0. Here it's continuous unless you got paid on the volume, of course, and that's a beautiful thing. So some people are building an incredible savings account, I like to call it, while they're waiting for their knowledge or their leads or their team size to catch up to the massive amount of volume, which volume equals cash at the end of the day is building up. So pretty simple.
Hey, Kevin, one thing that stuck out today when we were talking was there's people that just want to do retail. They just want to do the retail. They're not looking at building a business. And you had an example of someone that sold about 150 vials just in a couple days, right?
Better than that. So once again, that's another cool thing about this company. We always under-exaggerate, which is very rare in network marketing. But I have someone that did a trade show, and in every business I've ever been in, whether it made sense or not, people did trade shows. And at the end of the day, we're all looking for other ways to expose people to our business or expose our business to other people. So I had a girl in Atlanta do a trade show 2 weeks ago, and she had sold a product that cost us $1.30. Okay, one of the vials of one of our products that you can use 3 or 4 times. It costs us $1.30. We retail it for twice that, so $2.60 is our retail price. But the value, the perceived value, especially to new people, is so great. She sold 250, Tim,
Wow.
in 2 days for $10 a piece. Okay. On top of that, she sold 25 boxes. Each box costs us wholesale $35. We have to retail it for $65 or more. She sold 25 boxes each for $135. So making $100 per item retailing. And here's the best part of the story that's got the rest of my team going bananas and trying to get into trade shows. She signed up 32 representatives into the business, some paying as much as $1,799. One of them owns a beauty school with franchises, or however you say it, over 30 different franchises over the United States, and they're going to make it one of the lines that all the students train on, our skincare line moving forward. So that alone would probably be worth more than the other 31 people who she put into the system at that event. That's the kind of power this has. I've never heard those numbers anywhere, and it's just happening over and over. People at bridal shows and trade shows are just getting swamped. And she left money on the table. They couldn't service all the people that wanted to hear and find out and buy what she had. Once again,
that's a lot of check matches there. A lot of check matches. And she just got started.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, I'll tell you, like I said earlier, I mean, this, Crystal and I looked at the different teams. I mean, we've known each other a long time, but we also know a lot of the other leaders. But I'll tell you, this team is solid. Anybody that's watching this webinar, I'll tell you, you couldn't pick a better team to be part of. Like Joey said earlier, the replicated websites, all the tools that corporate doesn't even give you, and I'm learning so much from you guys with this comp plan, and I just see success, and I see success for the team. I see a lot of wins, and that's what we want to create. Is we want to create wins. We want people to be successful, and I'm just excited to be part of your team, guys. I really am.
No, we're excited to have you, and a lot of good people coming forward. And there's a lot of people that we've met along the way, meaning even the people that are here watching that we got to go back and save. They put their faith into this industry, and somehow, some way, somewhere along the line, either a person, probably an upline, or a company has let them down. And we don't want your dreams to just die on the table like happens so often in this industry, more so than anything else. I've tried those things before and I lost money. I'm not doing it again. The reason you tried, the hope that you had, the dreams that you had can still be revived with this compensation plan, with this company, with this excitement, and with the sustainability of being in 113 countries to really mitigate any problems or losses or financial crises or situations, even weather-related. Imagine your entire team was in New Orleans or something during Katrina. You could be wiped out. We'll use the same thing on a global platform where you have that much more resources and availability to build your business wherever you like or wherever it takes you. Even if you don't know people in other places, it's amazing how somebody knows somebody who knows somebody knows people in those places.
Definitely, Tim. Definitely excited to have you guys on board. There were some people asking a couple of questions, what are the products? I would say, guys, if you're watching this, make sure you get back to the person who brought you on. There's lots of great products. As Kevin said, there's over 14 of them. We don't want to go through every single one of them on here. But what I would say is, the company does have a replicated website with all the products, PDFs, explaining each one of those products, compensation plans, all that type of information's on there. So, make sure you get back to the person that brought you on here. Make sure you get back to either Tim or Julie or Crystal. If you just kind of, coming across this website, nobody brought you here, make sure you get those questions answered. But again, we do have lots of amazing products, like Kevin talked about Instantly Ageless, which is an amazing product. Reserve, Affinity, AM, PM. I mean, just on and on and on, guys. So I mean, there's a lot of great products here, and we thank you guys for all coming on here.
Thanks,
Tim, Tim, if you guys have any questions, or Crystal, you have any questions, we'll just close it out. But again, other than that, we thank for everybody for coming on, especially just being on this. I know it's a little later your guys' time, but we're definitely excited for us. I mean, this is something that we do all the time. I mean, Kevin, myself, Kenny, we're up late. I mean, it's 10:43 here, 10:43 in Florida, and we'll be up to 2, 3 in the morning still working, because we understand how precious right now the opportunity is. I'm talking to people that have been multiple seven-figure earners in other companies, that have just, they're just relaxing, or they're just doing whatever. They're not really building anymore. They're just kind of, and I've been showing them, what's happening. What's happening with, just updating people. Hey, by the way, I just want to let you know, we hit diamond in 60 days. Oh, what is that to hit diamond? Well, it's not just, I would say a record in the company. I think it's almost like a network marketing record also. I mean, to go out and do that much volume in that short period of time. Also, not just building it up all on one side, like you can do on a binary, but really just going out building both sides. We had a chance to go out there and break records. So people of who you think probably are not looking are looking at Jeunesse Global. So if you guys know of a big leader, if you guys know of somebody, don't be scared to reach out to them. That might be the right timing. A couple people slipped through our fingers that we thought were committed to their company. They always talked about it. They were diehards. We didn't call them, and all of a sudden, we see them in this company, and we're like, man, I should have called that guy. And sometimes we miss them by days, sometimes we miss them by hours. I mean, it's just it's crazy. And so you guys have the ability right now to work with a team, like Tim and Julie, like Crystal, and I can tell you right now, these guys are going to be on the top for sure. They have great leadership. Tim is an amazing leader. Julie is an amazing leader. Crystal is an amazing leader. We're here to help you guys go to that next level, answer any questions you guys might have. And so we're just truly excited to be here with you guys, to have you guys on Diamond Dynasty 300. And again, guys, this won't be the last webinar. We're going to do lots of things where you guys can come and learn from Kevin, about comp plans, Kenny about how to, talk to people. I mean, we're constantly training and helping people go to that next level. We're trying to build a foundation that is going to help you and your team grow and go to that next level.
Crystal, you got anything?
No, I think I'll make it short and sweet, guys, but Tim mentioned briefly, about how strategic and intentional we were about partnering with our upline. For me, I speak on a whole different level, because I look at it more than comp plan, more than product. I'm looking more, if I can trust you. Do I feel like you're honest? Do I feel like you operate your business with integrity? These are things that, a lot of leaders do not possess this. And if I'm going to build my organization with you, if I'm going to trust my friends, my family with you, I need to be able to know that I can trust you as an individual. And when I got to know you three, on a whole different level, I have no doubt that we made the right decision. So Joey, Kevin, Kenny, you guys are phenomenal. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate you guys being honest with us and knowing that I can trust you guys and we can move ahead with this. I look forward to what's about to come. So thank you.
Awesome. I echo those sentiments too. I think that was an important piece for us when we decided what to do and how to put this team together. We put people first. I think that's the important thing, and unfortunately, sometimes that's missed in this industry. And we wanted to create a family environment. It's not about any one person. It's about the whole group moving forward. We're not the first people to have a team concept, but we want to take it beyond team and make it family. Blood's forever. So this is our last chance, or our last dance, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
So we're here, and that's why we're Dynasty, a group of leaders that have a pedigree of winning championships year in, year out.
It's great to be here, guys.
Cool. Let's do it.
Exciting, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and stop the broadcast. Thank you guys for coming out, and look forward to seeing you guys all in Vegas.
All right. Let's do it.
LV, baby.